Hi, I'm John Ratzenberger. Before you knew me as a TV wise guy or a Disney voice, I was a carpenter, which has given me a lifelong respect for people who build things with their own hands. We're here tonight to celebrate a fellow who built a mansion of his own, a business mansion, an iconic American company known as, well, here it is, Home Depot, beloved by do-it-yourselfers everywhere. One of the things that made America great is our tradition of tinkering independence, material creativity, and, well, self-help. Bernie Marcus and his partners at Home Depot tapped into that impulse brilliantly. And when his concept proved a smashing success, Bernie, well, shared his bounty with fellow citizens. After looking around for something that could thrill Home Depot employees, customers, and their families, he decided to build the planet's most spectacular aquarium in the city that gave birth to his company. When an office worker told Bernie how few services there were for children like hers with autism, he launched a pioneering attack on that disease. Bernie Marcus stepped up in similar ways to help with bone marrow transplants, brain and spinal cord injuries, and national medical emergencies. He attacked policy problems that dragged down business creation and gave money away in defense of democracies. We recently spent a few days in Atlanta talking to people who know Bernie Marcus well, so hey, let's hear what they have to say.
Well, I first met Bernie, probably the years were, gosh darn it, it was a long, long time ago.
I met Bernie in 1982.
I actually met Billy on the golf course.
Our next door neighbor, Max Rittenbaum, had been the national chairman of Bonds for Israel, so he had met Bernie as he came to Atlanta. And Max said to me, well, I can't give you very much money, but I'm going to help you raise some money, and there's somebody new you need to meet.
I first met Bernie when he called Children's Health Care of Atlanta to see about bringing the Marcus Autism Center into our family. We originally told him no.
Bernie has not just only given his money, but he gives in a thoughtful way. He wants it to make an impact that is lasting.
Bernie then called us back, and when Bernie calls you back a second time, you have to look at something a little bit harder.
Bernie's got an enormously energetic personality.
Bernie by nature is much more outgoing. He tends to be more of a showman, probably a little more flamboyant.
Bernie is a showman. He's a salesman.
Well, I think Bernie had the ability to look around the corner and see things that people didn't see.
He is a visionary. He sees things 10 or 15 years out that others of us haven't seen yet.
It's impossible to keep up with him. He's larger than life, and he is always moving, always with creative ideas, and always pushing the business, always pushing for improvement.
In terms of our business, I think Bernie, like myself, and this is where our values are very similar, started out with trying to make a difference in the lives of our associates.
His philanthropic accomplishments will be every bit as important.
Bernie has stepped into the space of autism well before anyone else, and he has really made autism a household word through his work with Autism Speaks and really provided treatment to thousands of children here at the Marcus Autism Center.
The aquarium, though, I think is such a great reflection of Bernie, because I joke that if I ever got to the point where I'd give an aquarium, I think I'd call it Frank's Fish. And here it's the Georgia Aquarium, because that's the way Bernie gives. He gives it in a very understated way and in a way that has a huge impact for the entire community.
Bernie's message was, if I can find a young person or many young people and touch their hearts and spur their ideas, then maybe that's the next scientists that are going to be out there.
Bernie has given back to our society more than any of us could ever hope to give back. But he also says, give small and give large. It all makes a difference, and give smart. And Bernie is an example of a very smart philanthropist who is really changing the world with his money.
Most everything he has done has just been a wonderful venture. But there's one thing he's never going to do. Never. And that is shoot par golf.
Bernie, the Marcus Autism Center is where we are because you had a vision. Autism is known nationally in every household because you had a vision and you made this happen. Through the great work at Autism Speaks as well as the Marcus Autism Center, you literally are changing the world.
There's no one I can think of that's more deserving of the award. I will say one of the things I frequently say is that the strength of Home Depot is in the culture that Bernie and Arthur created in this company. It is a culture that is passionate about its customers, passionate about its associates, and passionate about giving back to the community, which is why it's so appropriate for Bernie to be receiving this award.
Congratulations, Bernie. This is an award that is well-deserved, and I applaud you.
Congratulations. This award and what it stands for personifies you as a human being. As a philanthropist, as an entrepreneur, you've lived the vision that Bill Simon set out.
He's been one of the most important people that I would ever have in my life, and that would include my family members. He is like a brother to me, and there's not much I have not done without him. There's not much I would choose to ever do without him in the future.
He wants to give his money away, he says, before he dies. And a lot of people don't think that. They want to pass on vast wealth to their children. Well, his children are fine, and they're fine people, too, which is important. He's been a great example.